Welcome to Relocating to Disney. Now, we like to go to the parks probably just as much as anybody else, but if you're a homeowner here in Florida, there's quite a bit of work you have to do around the house. So I like to show you some of the work that happens around the house. If you've been in Florida a long time, you're familiar with the tasks, but if you're coming down from the Northeast, you probably aren't used to all the different kinds of things that have to be done with a Florida home. So today we're doing some yard work. I have somebody who mows the lawn for me, and he'll trim the hedges for an additional fee. So we have that done a couple times a year, but he really doesn't prune the trees. And he will prune the trees, but he charges per tree for that. So that's something that I can do myself. So I'm gonna take you around, show you a couple of the things that we're working on this weekend. So if you have palm trees, sometimes you have to pay to have the palms trimmed, but there's some species of palm trees that are self-pruning. And what that means is when the palm fronds kind of die off, they'll just fall off the tree. And you can see right here, here's one that's fallen off the tree. So we just pull that off and take it to the street. And the town comes by every Wednesday to pick up yard waste. So it'll just be out there for a little while. All right, now we're out by the pool, and you can see this bush right here. Usually it's got a nice round shape to it. And this is something that the yard guy will do when he trims the hedges. But it's not really all that tough to take and trim off some of this stuff when it grows. Things grow like crazy here in Florida, and they grow year round. So you gotta be on top of it, and you gotta be a little bit aggressive toward it. Not so aggressive that you're gonna kill something off, but aggressive enough where you understand it's just going to grow right back, and it's going to grow quick. So here's a tree next to the corner out by the lanai, and this was way up above the lanai. And if I came around this way a little bit, I trimmed it, but it was rubbing up against the screen. I put holes in the screen, scratch up the lanai metal. So trim that way back, cut it way off the top. I probably could have even cut it back even more, because it's just going to keep growing. So what I have here is a red flowering vine, and it looks really nice, but another vine got entangled in here and just started taking it over. So I had to trace down where the vine went, and it had been here for quite a few years. You can see this is pretty well established, but I had to cut that out, pulled as much of it out as I can. The rest is just gonna have to die out because I couldn't get it all. My concern was that invasive vine had gone all the way up and was crossing over and was now into this tree. So it would have taken over this tree too. Okay, I'll show you this tree here. This is our Charlie Brown tree right there. It's pretty short. This is a certain kind of tree. I can't remember what they're called, but I'll put the name of it right here when I look it up. But what you do with these trees every year is you have to cut them all the way back to the knuckles. So you cut off all the growth, and then the coming year, they just grow right back. It's the oddest thing. It feels like you're killing the tree, but you aren't. You're just doing something that's very healthy and pruning that tree back. And while I'm here, let me show you the pines. So we got pines on the property too. You can see this branch right here. It's too low, so that when you mow, it becomes kind of a pain in the butt to have to get underneath that. And it's going to end up probably stabbing somebody. So I got to get the saw out. I'm going to be chopping that branch off. So there's maintenance on the pine trees. If you're up north, you're familiar with pine tree maintenance, so that's not a big deal. Here we are at this big bush right here, and you can see it's got some flowers on this. What there is there's a vine that's growing deep inside of this bush. And if you let it, it'll just take over the whole bush. So whenever we see the vine, we have to pull it out, cut it off, and just try to keep this bush as healthy as we can, even though it's got a vine infested in it. All right, here's something else I want to show you, and this is a palm, and up here you can see, if I go this way, this right here, these are seed pods. So if I can get in a little closer to that for you. Okay. And what you have to do is prune those out. You prune them out, they last maybe about 4, 5, 6 months, then they grow back. But you got to keep those pruned out of the trees. And then weeding is never ending. We're either pulling or spraying weeds all the time. So this is the rock garden that goes around the pool, and you can see it's filled with weeds right now. So right now I'm in the part of the property that I call the forest. It's filled with Florida trees and tropical trees, and I just really love this area. And someday I'm going to just take this and extend it all the way out through the property line, because I think this is just a really nice place. It's got a canopy over top, and you can it'd be nice to have a walking path through here. Anyways, it's got stone. If I back up a little bit, it's got stone down here, and I was just talking about the weeds, and you can see it's all filling in here now because we haven't weeded this in a while. And if we don't take care of this pretty soon, all of this here is going to be filled in with plants and more Florida vegetation. So this is something we got to get after and get it all cleaned up. Okay, now we're over by the pool pump, and so you probably hear it running in the background. But I want to show you another thing that we kind of have to take care of. It isn't so much pruning trees and stuff, but if you take a look down here at the stones, right? Hopefully you can see all that. So it looks like previous owners never maintained, a good amount of stone around all the vegetation. And so we're gonna be looking at bringing in quite a bit of stone to get this built back up, and just something that you have to maintain. I don't know where all the stone goes once you put it in here. Whether you're using mulch you got to do re-mulch on a regular basis, or stone, you think stone's going to be here forever. I don't know where it goes, but it doesn't. You have to keep adding stone and keep that stone pack pretty thick. So that's just something else I wanted to point out. So here's another Capel Myrtle on the property, and if you saw the videos back in December, I trimmed this back pretty far, and you can see it's already starting to bud. And then it's expected that by the time we get into next fall, it's gonna grow all the way up past the windows like it was before. So there's a lot more to talk about as far as maintaining all the Florida vegetation around the house, trimming the trees and weeding and everything that just grows like crazy here in Florida. But I think that's enough for today. Thank you for watching.